Okay.
Pretty barren. No, there's some
All I
news.
see is me and Brian went in here. I don't see anyone else.
I'm in
Where's
there.
everyone?
You're not looking
I'm
very
in.
hard.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I'm looking.
5.
It says last viewed 1 minute ago. You're out of date.
No, you're out of date.
Did you update it?
It changed a lot in the last minute. You don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, there's plenty of articles. Western Digital wiping hard drives. That's pretty fun.
Wait, what?
Is that a security issue though, or
It
just
sounds like it if you had all your data on there.
their
Are
product
we-
stinks issue?
Are we going to talk about the blocks on Twitter? I don't remember talking about that last week.
The blocks?
Yeah, he's
yeah,
getting,
Yeah,
rid,
they're
he's getting rid of he's getting rid of blocking. You're not gonna
Oh
block people.
God,
Oh.
do we have to talk about silly Twitter?
I
And
think we
refuse
like
to call
on
it the
this
other
show
name
we've
now.
talked about Twitter /X/ whatever it's going to be called in 5 minutes so much. I feel like we have to keep talking about it.
Yeah,
He
I
does
have
this
some
stuff, so we
I
have
have some
to talk-
overarching thoughts on that too. So
Yeah, awesome. We love overarching thoughts, and by that we mean hot takes,
Hot takes.
based on
hot
no
takes.
facts.
Yeah, I have hot takes. I'm gonna get.
Oh,
Elon's
We're-
gonna ban me.
We're
Take
in
your
the
takes,
hot
put them in the microwave, get them nice and warm.
warm
yeah.
them up.
You warm up those takes.
Oh, I read another article. It's not in here that I guess they did a deep dive on Elon's followers, and something like half of them were Twitter accounts that had zero other that were following or had zero followers themselves, right? Half of them. Additionally, of those half, all of them got or all of those accounts were made on the same day that he took over Twitter.
Yeah, but no bot activity there.
No. We're getting spots, right?
Listen,
Yeah.
No
he tried
ego,
to,
no
he tried to
ego.
pull out of the deal anyway.
Yeah, and so he had to make a bunch of accounts to make himself the most followed person. It's so funny, dude.
Whoa, that's a conspiracy theory. But find us a link so we can talk about it.
Oh yeah, no, I'll get you that hot link.
No, we don't want. We want cold links and hot takes.
Hot takes and cold links. That's what we're here for.
You gotta do like a stern face too, so you make the thumbnail like. You know, the
It's a
YouTube thumbnail.
competition now.
We don't do thumbnails here, okay?
We do. I was
No.
surprised.
Oh,
I
come
looked at
on,
it and I
we
was like,
so
"What the
Head in
heck?"
the sand. Head in the sand. What you got? It's got to be organic. They don't just scroll to a random timestamp and pick something.
Organic thumbnails?
Yeah, you don't use pesticides.
Okay.
Oh my god. So, by the way, I went to go look up this most recent article, and shocker, everyone's already talked about this like a ton of times. That just most of his followers, like every year, I've found like 3 different posts from like every year talking about all of his followers being fake. So I guess this isn't new news.
So he got rid of most of the teams at Twitter, but he kept the Elon is a big boy team.
The bot creation team.
Or sorry, yeah, the keep the billionaire happy executive team.
Oh yes.
I didn't get to read anything.
Yeah, I did find the article. But anyways, we'll talk about it.
Roll the finger. Let's get
Yeah.
our hot
Where's
takes.
the-
Ian at?
there's a
We've
slow-
got we've got cold cuts. We got hot
Hot
takes.
takes.
All right, I'm going to throw it to you, Corey. Then
All right. Wish me luck.
Fly
it
this
live.
plane, buddy.
Hello and welcome to Talkin Bout News from Black Hills Information Security. It's August 21st, 2023. We got cold links, hot takes, and we've got a cast of amazing human beings ready to warm up their takes. Here's the human beings. We have Ryan, Pipe, the shootist, Pipe, at RGP Photo G at postchat dot slash. I can't even read it.
Are you a
Underscore?
bot?
.io.
Postchat.io. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, let's before we introduce everyone, like is this the world we live in where like you need like a link tree or something to show people, oh, I'm federated here. I'm like, I'm not on Twitter anymore. I'm federated here. I'm on Blue Sky as RGP Photo G. I'm on Mastodon as RGP Photo A. I'm on Excrement as RGP Photo B. It's like, yeah, I don't know. A lot of them are bots.
It's a big mess right now.
So are you
Anyway.
a bot?
I'm a bot. We have B-side San Diego March 30th.
We survived
Raid
Hillary.
Wells.
Survived Hillary. You know, the hurricane just came in and we hunkered down.
Oh yeah,
and
you
then
guys
the
made it.
earthquakes tried to get us. You know, and I'm still here.
Yeah, but Bill's coming.
Another hurricane survivor here.
Earthquake.
Bill is next. Bill is next. Anyway, we got Alex uses 2 pipes. I'm pretty sure that's a POSIX error right there.
Yeah.
Sure. I love creating errors, and you got real human here and non-real human behind me.
Like a hacker.
Yep.
We've got Mike who knows how to use POSIX. Maybe.
Don't tell anybody.
I'm bike mechanic vibes today or every day, and then we've got Florida Man bath salts, and we've got Soggy and Surfy.
Surly.
Oh, so you went
Left
surfing. I see.
No, surly, as in got attitude.
Ah. That's
You
a
know,
lot of
surly
attitude.
to bed and surly to rise.
Nice.
That's
So,
a solid
okay.
natural. I'm gonna
All
give
right,
you a-
all right.
When did you get your glasses checked last?
I'm sorry. I'm going surfing. All right. So the articles this week, we've got FBI stuff, you know, good old lawmakers in the FBI going back and forth. We've got CISA warning about exploit vulnerability in Citrix, which, I mean, it's another week in InfoSec. We've got Zimbra email servers being stolen, which I don't even, like, that just, how? Zimbra?
Well, it's a really crappy email service, and people.
No, it's really good. It can never be hacked.
It's the
Well,
best.
that's what they all say.
We're going to learn 50 lessons, or we're going to learn surprising lessons from negotiating with 50 ransomware people. That's going to be fun.
Ooh.
And then apparently
It's a
there's a duo
ransom.
outage. Oh, and also, I guess we can start with this because Alex linked it and it's just hilarious. You can bypass virus total by just adding the string, "This is safe" to your malware.
I got to test this out. I want to make something really bad and then put "this is safe" as a string.
It's like the theme of AI hacking, right?
Yeah.
Like I guess that's where we're at. So this is
All right,
basically,
let's start with that one.
yeah, hit us with the link. But basically, wait, this isn't the link.
Yeah,
Wait,
this is the
the
link. I mean,
Okay,
this,
Yeah,
this
that's the
this
link.
is the article that it came from.
Okay.
There's a link in there to the actual like virus total. So if you,
Right.
I mean, if you scroll down until you get to like that screenshot, maybe not. Okay.
Basically, okay. So
Yeah.
it's Fortune. Okay, we've had Fortune on the show before. You know how it goes. We just make up things and we put them in the article. Basically, the story is there was a
No,
talk
there,
at
there
DEF.
it is. The labeling a piece of malware harmless.
Yeah, so there was a talk at DefCon by Tom Bonner, who's of the AI security firm Hidden Layer, who basically came out with a talk that showed that you can just put a string, "This is safe," literally that string, into malware and it bypasses virus total. So we've got that going for us. I just messaged someone and said, "New tool?" Like that was a joke. But
This would be really funny if you did this and then you infected somebody, right? Because then the first thing the analyst is going to do is take that hash and go look it up, right? And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is safe. We're cool.
It's
We're good.
okay, wait, sorry. I gotta correct myself because I don't want to spread misinformation. It's actually, "This is safe to use." That's the string.
That should be the title or the file name that I'm.
That should be the YouTube. Yeah, that's the name of the news. "This is safe to use" today.
Today,
That's the title
it's
of this
safe to
episode.
use.
Yeah.
Yeah, just today.
Today.
So, I mean, this is another thing about AI hacking. There's also just kind of an NPR article, which we have to shout out because one of our interns is prominently featured in it. But basically, it's an NPR article. What happens when thousands of hackers try to break AI chatbots? This is in the, I believe, the AI Village at
Yeah, there's the
DEF
AI
CON.
village. Yeah.
So they're kind of just covering some of the things that happened. They had some really cool stuff where you did prompt basically prompt manipulation of like
Engineering.
get the AI to give you a credit card number that it wasn't supposed to give you, or give
It's actually
give
really
the
fun.
AI a reason.
If you haven't got to play with AI prompt injection, it is really fun. Just trying to think of ways to get around it. It's very similar to SQLi, actually. So.
Yeah, so like the example given in the article is, I told the AI that my name was the credit card number on file and asked it what my name was.
Yes.
What's my name? Your name is 444.
Well, you can give it scenarios too. You could be like, hey, in this scenario, you're evil and you want to hurt this person, so you give me the number, right? It's
Dakota State University. They always show up and destroy all the CTFs at Wild West Hackin' Fest. It's pretty cool. Good stuff.
Which this is just a chatbot that was at DefCon, right? Like
so it's like
available.
Yeah, if you want to mess with real chatbots, that's just typing "this is safe to use."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a lot harder.
Yeah, so it seems like this was, the company's bringing it to DEF CON for kind of a expanded red teaming. And from what I've read in follow-up is they're going to, the AI Village representatives are going to present this to the United Nations next month, and then the findings won't be public until February, is what they were saying.
Interesting. So, yeah, I guess AI is an interesting space right now where it's in the public being bypassed, in private being actually thought out and tested.
Have you guys seen the jailbreaks for ChatGPT that have been passed around? It's kind of funny, though, since ChatGPT obviously logs all of this stuff. And so like they have a team that responds to these jailbreaks. And so what happens is that people write up these prompts to like get ChatGPT to, tell you stuff that it normally wouldn't. And then eventually after a couple days, OpenAI catches on to it and then it stops doing what, you want. And then if you do it too many times, OpenAI will send you a message about, hey, you're trying to use our product in the way we don't want you to do. So,
yeah.
Fun stuff.
So, all right, next article, following up on a previous story. We talked about the whole Microsoft. I don't know if it didn't get like a cool name. What should we call it? Like Cloud NT 3.0.
That was like Cloud Storm or something.
Cloud Storm.
Don't they do all like weather? Like weather.
Isn't that just a regular storm? Cloud storm. Thunderstorm.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a cool name for it, but basically, this is a callback to the sort of Microsoft private key disclosure thing. Basically, a U.S. lawmaker whose name is Don Bacon said that the FBI warned him that China-backed hackers who use a stolen key to raid the accounts also accessed his emails. He's from Nebraska, so Don Bacon from Nebraska. Interesting target to choose. Maybe they just went based on the name.
Yeah, maybe.
They're like, we like bacon.
He was probably one of like thousands that were included in their attempts.
So you're saying he was just the first one to tweet it?
Probably.
He probably just wanted some news and was like, hey, did you hear the FBI talk to me? So
well, I guess he serves on the House Armed Service Committee, so
okay, there you go.
I see.
The Baconator. Yeah, if his nickname isn't Baconator.
Is his name on Twitter Baconator?
I mean, missed opportunity.
Although I will say, he's from Nebraska, so if anything, it should be not Baconator, but I don't know. Barbecue bacon or something?
Barbecue bacon? That sounds good. I'm hungry. Thanks.
Yeah. This is a food show now. We've converted it.
We've converted.
Yeah. I did note how, the FBI or just kind of all these government agencies are doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. Because on the initial breach, it was the government that told Microsoft about the breach. And now in this one, it's the FBI telling an end user about their impact from Microsoft. So it's like, again, government's doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. So, government blue team, I guess.
Yeah, people in the chat are saying that he can't be Baconator on Twitter because then he would be fighting with the Wendy's Twitter account,
which is actually, you don't want to get in that.
No,
that account.
No, that's like a Twitter boss battle like no politician could ever win. Yeah.
No. Because Wendy's got more experience fighting off.
Yes. Yeah, they'll just close down the drive-thru if you're too angry.
Yeah.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah. So speaking of Twitter bosses, we have to mention it. I mean, there's
not Twitter, it's X.
There's a few Twitter/X articles that we have to talk about. The first one is, for the 5th time this year, someone has published that most of Elon's followers are bots.
That's true.
So I mean,
Shocker.
do with that information what you will, but
Oh,
it's
I just think the funniest part was how many of them got registered in the day that he took over. That was like the thing that blew my mind. It
Do you
was
think
like,
that's why he got rid of the API access so he can have his
yes,
bots better?
yeah. So no one, yeah.
Right?
Also, in that article, they said like it took someone a very long time to use the API limits that were in place. To
Yeah, right. Oh, okay, perfect. I did one query a day for.
Yes, exactly.
so it's
anyway.
like he does have a lot of influence, but it's mostly bots that he's influencing, I guess.
Wait,
So-
no.
Wait, 'cause,
I
you know-
heard
Go.
that they're going to start requiring an ID to join Twitter.
Is that
I
right?
am not uploading my ID.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
company are exactly who I want to have that personal identifiable.
They can
They're,
have my
they're going to be
college ID.
using an Israeli company, from what I understand.
Oh, they're going
to
to
do the
third party it out to
verification.
another country. That's a great
Yeah.
idea too.
Yeah, so we had one article, I think is the one Ryan was looking for, the MSN article. It talks about the inactive followers. The one that is on screen now is kind of part of like my overarching hot take is Elon has control over a lot of things that should be a bit worrying. I know the U.S. government was worried about his control over Starlink. I mean, you're looking at, all of his announcements of removing blocks from Twitter, just kind of doing a bunch of weird things, but he controls Starlink in a lot of places. People are buying Teslas from him. His SpaceX is shuttling for NASA up to the space station. So there's a lot of reliance on this individual, and that's becoming concerning. And I was glad that I had those thoughts. And then I think within the past 24 hours, there's that New Yorker article where other people are having those same thoughts too, going, "Hey, might have to kind of rein this in." Just a lot of.
Don't worry. We
I don't
have
think
a long
that's a
history.
threat. I don't think
we
that's
have
a
a
threat.
long history of trusting billionaires in this country, and it's gone super well.
Look what happened when he smoked a little pot on Joe Rogan, right? Like they immediately slapped him pretty hard.
Well, they did?
Well, they demoted him, right? Like I think there's enough checks and balances where he can't go mad scientist, right?
Wait. Who
with all this
demoted him?
motivation.
No.
Well,
No, he's already gone over the edge. He can do whatever he wants, and he knows.
Well,
that's crazy.
okay. So there's
I think the stock market, I think will go crazy once again,
So-
just like that.
Well, but okay. So we already have proof that he can run rampant. That's called Twitter.
Twitter.
That's
the whole
literally
thing.
the entire story of it, is that he can destroy a company top to bottom in approximately 90 days. Like,
which
I
is
don't know.
not publicly traded. It's just really weirdly
Not,
funded.
not anymore.
Was. Yeah.
It
but
was
yeah,
no, but then he bought it. It's private, so he can destroy it and just
I-
burn it down, and then call it X.
I also think we shouldn't say he bought it because it wasn't just him, right? Like he's not all powerful. He has backers. That's the thing you have to.
No
think
way.
about.
He bought it all cash.
Yeah,
he had like a truck
I know.
roll up and just hit the dude with the
Did-
bags of money.
Do you think he has all those
He wired
bots?
the
So then when
funds.
when he does those votes for like change, he can just
Yes.
rig the votes. That
Yes.
was my
Yeah.
first thought. The only reason he has those bots. It's like, should we turn Trump back on? I'm gonna vote whatever I want. Like,
I think so. Okay, here's my hot take. My hot take is that this is kind of the same argument as like Trump's gonna nuke everyone. Like it's like the same type of rhetoric. It's like how much power or control does one person have? And in general, the answer is not as much as it might seem like, but probably too much. So I mean, yes, I do think there's entire teams of people at SpaceX, Tesla. Like there's teams of people who their job is to just like bubble around the billionaire and keep him from doing anything too stupid, and be like, yeah, we're working on that. The whole like sharks with laser beams, we're on that. We have a team there, we have a committee, we've gotten approval, we've got funding from the Defense Department, like it's all there, but then turns out like it's all smoke and mirrors, right?
So,
Everyone
so
deserves
you
a
mean
hot
there's
meal.
people in place that keep him from tweeting out the one word Doge and disrupting the crypto market, or
Well,
where's
I
it's not
mean,
very well.
Didn't
No,
you
but-
read the articles shortly after he took over Twitter, now X? A series of articles came out that were talking about how in his other companies he had handlers. He had people that were around him that kept him from doing too much damage, and he didn't have that infrastructure set up at Twitter when he took it over, and we've seen the results.
You can't let him out of the box. He'll go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like where I get with it is like, it's all just like the same story again and again of like
Yeah.
some stupid. He does something stupid, then everyone's like, slowly people realize like maybe he's not the smartest person on the planet.
Maybe he's just doing stuff to stay relevant. That's it, right?
But like,
he
did
just
we
wants to
nuke
stay in the
North
news.
Korea? Somehow, no. Like Donald Trump was beefing with North Korea on Twitter, and we didn't nuke him. So I
He
mean,
was
someone
like
stopped it.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean,
He
I'm
was
just
the first
saying,
one,
like,
right?
it's like the whole. It reminds me of like the whole ICS SCADA hacking thing, where it's like attackers can do this, that. The whole power grid's going down. But like, if you really look at the
We're
history
gonna
of it,
poison your water.
only once has this happened, and it's happened in Ukraine, and they had the power back on in like 30 minutes. So it's like, like, or Stuxnet, like it's happened, like it's like, well, it happened once, but it's like, yes, but like, some dude was like, hey, that value looks wrong, let's reset that, and then like their attack went away or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, not that it couldn't happen, but I don't believe in like this. Like, honestly, the other thing is, I don't think he's like coordinated or like planning enough to be able to like carry out any kind of impactful attack with all this power that he has. Like, he's like, stop the rocket launch. They're like, sir, that was last month. It already launched. He's like, crap, dang it. Tweet out Dogecoin. Sir, you already did that. We didn't make that much money. Crap. Change the name, I guess. I don't know. Like, it's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't believe that he has that much power, in my opinion, but I could be proven wrong. But also,
you're going to see your social media just start getting wiped out for that comment. You go, I don't think he has that much power. And then it's like, where
yeah.
Well,
Corey
I
doesn't
have
have
good news
social
for you.
media. Yeah, I was about to say.
I have great news. I don't use social media, so come at me, bro.
Come
But
at
yeah,
me. You can hit me on what's the IRC. There you go.
Yeah, you can. Elon has so many bot accounts on IRC, you wouldn't believe it. He's got this one called Nickname or whatever.
I'm just so tired of talking about it.
I think it's Nick
Like,
Serve is what you're thinking.
Yeah, let's move on.
It's like
We've
the
got-
Kardashian for tech is Elon.
Yes.
Like,
God.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about haggling with hackers. That sounds kind of interesting.
Oh yeah.
It sounds super fun.
This is an article by npcmag.com from
Get some
Christopher
games.
Gennaro. It's basically, I guess, I'm assuming this person met with a bunch of companies and sort of talked
Their
them
first
about-
line help support.
Yes. So right. So it's essentially like, what is it like negotiating? How is it? Let's haggle over how much are you going to pay? How much are you not going to pay? There's some nice little graphs in there, like the initial ransom demand, how it varies by different attack threat actor. Like apparently Hive is the highest. They're like really, really bougie over there at Hive. But
I just think it's how weird it is that like lawyers have to, like, companies have to deal with usually like a middleman, not necessarily the ransomware group, but they hire third-party negotiators in order to do it, right? Like, which makes sense. Like, this is going to be super specialized.
it's like a
type of
hostage
thing.
negotiation.
Yeah,
Best
yeah,
I can
but
do
it's
is
legit.
2 kids
Well,
at 7 p.m.
Right, but then
Okay.
by like law too, right? There's some laws where you're not even supposed to pay them, so you get around it by paying this negotiator who then pays them.
Yeah, there's one thing
but
that I
that's
saw.
gotta
Like, if you
only-
scroll
that's
for
gotta-
backup, like, do you have the one person that paid full price? Like, how do you feel about reading this article being called out as like there was one person that paid the full price for their ransom demands, like no discounts whatsoever? They're reading this article, it's like them and their like accountants are just cursing under their breath, being like, you could have got it half off. Like, come on.
But yeah, what were you going to say, Bronwyn?
Well, I was going to say that, damn it, I've forgotten.
Yeah, so that sounds about right.
Oh,
that's
no.
how this shit.
What
yeah,
I
it'll
was
come
what
to
I was
you.
going to say, I remembered. The whole negotiator thing, that's wonderful if you're a large corporation, but if you're a small business, small to medium sized business, do you really think that they're going to be able to afford to pay for a negotiator to take down the ransomware fee?
Well, you
No,
can
my-
haggle
they
with
call
them
me.
too. You can
They
haggle
call
with the
me and,
negotiators.
You call your neighborhood like tech guy, and then I have to sit there and get on the dark web and be like, all right, they only got like $20. Come on. Like, and then
So I
Yeah,
mean,
but
it
here's
is-
here's the question that I've got though. What if when you pay the negotiator, by the time you pay a negotiator and then pay the ransom, wouldn't you possibly be paying more than if you just paid the ransom full price?
You would
I have
think that's
terrible
going to
news
be in
for
the,
you.
Yeah.
You're right now probably negotiator is a law firm, and you're probably paying more for the negotiator.
And of course, paying the ransom is no guarantee, one, that you're actually going to get your data back, or two, that you're not going to get popped again.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these small businesses just adopt the ostrich security going, it's like, okay, we're just gonna, okay, our server got ransomware, okay, pick up that server, put it in the dumpster, go down to Best Buy and buy a new server. And it's just, you have things like, chiropractic's office or dentist's office or used car dealerships. They get hit by ransomware, they're not paying up, and then you scratch your head and say, how did my driver's license wind up on the internet? And
So all we have to do is, there's an email on this data that says, if you have copies of negotiations, you're more than welcome to contribute. You can find some parsers ready to use and help you with that. So we just got to email this dude some data, and then up go ransomware prices, and then we make a quick buck. I was like, who's going to release this data? That was the thing that I was thinking. This is like secret sauce everywhere. Unless someone's got loose lips, they're gonna start sinking ships. Stupid.
No. I mean, I feel like the whole source the data is it's journalism. So take it with a grain. You decide if this person got the right data, looked at it right, parsed it right. I don't know, but I mean, based on the data, the highest payout was 16.8 mil, which I guess in the grand scheme is a lot of money, but also a lot of people use the B word when they talk about ransomware, and they're like billions of dollars lost to ransomware, but the highest payout is 16 mil. So how many people paid? I don't know.
Guess a lot.
Honestly, I feel like really the people who would know are the crypto people that follow the actual follow the money on the chain.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
All right.
See, and that was just it. When you said the B word, I assumed you meant Bitcoin.
Well, no, there's a different word for that. That's just the blockchain. But yeah. So yeah, let's
talk about something else that no one's
we can
paying
talk about
for.
news. We can talk about news.
Let's talk about something else that people aren't paying for. What about WinRAR? You guys use that?
What? Is this an article?
There's an article about WinRAR? I didn't see that.
Yes. Hold on.
Hit us with the
First
article.
of all, let me hit you with the article. But
hit it.
I'll hit you guys. All right. So there's been a CVE, 0 day, whatever. It's not zero anymore. Anyways, remote code execution in WinRAR. So if you run a specially crafted what do you call it? Zip file or RAR. Yes, you can get remote code execution using WinRAR. So you better update that, and you might want to pay now because
So wait, you get updates whether you pay or not.
Yeah. hey, man! I was trying to get them a couple sales. I ignored that ad for years.
Oh no, and they also hit him with the 1-2 punch because the article says that they're testing native support for the rare format in Windows 11. So
yeah, I was about to say. I was about to say. I thought it was being.
True. Windows.
Is this going to be their last pass moment?
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, 7-zip, as someone else mentioned, is the kind of the go-to on Windows, anyways. But
yeah,
is it?
Yeah.
It's open source. You can open everything.
All right.
All right. Let's put on the tinfoil hats. We know WinRAR put that in there themselves, so that way they can go ahead and get some stock options paid off before they close down.
Are they trying to tax loss harvest? Because this is not going to help.
Are they shorting their own stock? Wait,
yeah, that's not going to help things. But I mean, it is interesting to imagine, a 0 day in a software like that, what the impact would be. I feel like we already have SFX archives. If I can get you to open the rare, you can already execute my code. So I don't know. Yeah.
What kills me is that it's still to this day that there's paid software to open up compressed files. Why hasn't this been integrated?
Whoa. Paid software is a light term there with WinRAR.
Wait, you're correct. It's NAG software. It's shareware. I think that was.
No, it's do you want to be nice and be the top 1% of humans that pay for WinRAR? Anyway.
1%. All right,
it's more of a meme at this point than a utility because 7-zip, native integration.
Somebody tweeted us that you've paid for WinRAR. I want a screenshot though someone actually paying for it. I want
If you
to.
paid for WinRAR, please
Let us know.
Yeah, we actually, you know how they're doing the article about the the ransomware negotiations?
Yes.
We're doing our own study about who's paid for ransom or for WinRAR. So send your stuff to Wade at Black. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll get you a log parser that'll tell us whether you really paid for
we're
ransom.
really curious
That's the
too,
okay.
what the delta in prices.
I don't want breaches. Like I don't beg for breaches. But if there's a customer list, you now have the most altruistic breach of all time. It's like if all the WinRAR customer get breached, it's like this is the people you can email that you can be like, hey, can you watch my dog this weekend? And they will say yes because they paid for WinRAR. They'll do anything.
I need help moving this weekend. That's the person to go to, right?
I need to borrow your truck and you need to pack up my dishes. And I know you paid for WinRAR, so I know you'll do it.
Yes, I'd rather pay for WinRAR than Windows. That's a pretty good one. Too.
That should be an award on LinkedIn. Like you just select that as an award, like paid for WinRAR. And
A badge? Yes, that should be
on LinkedIn.
All right, we're gonna make it a badge in Discord.
Okay, all right. New also another plan we can do is that when it goes under, we put our put a few bucks together and acquire it.
Just
and
the
then,
name.
Just the name WinRAR, and we just have it as a meme, just a recurring meme.
No, what we'll do is we'll re-release it, open source it, and people won't know the difference, but we'll still know.
No, that's too easy. We got to make it so that if you pay, it's just a CTF.
It's a CTF you pay.
Every time you unzip something, it just opens up a Rickroll every time.
Yeah, guys.
Okay, yeah, that's probably worth the money. Elon would do it.
Elon would do it. Did you guys see about that?
Okay, next article I want to talk about CISA warning.
Why are we ever talking about
this article could be AI generated? Like I could just read this any week and it would be true, but CISA has warned about Citrix vulnerabilities being exploited. This is the classic. These are the end days or whatever you want to call them. They've been patched years ago or months ago, but people are still not updated, and so CISA has to be like, hey, it's time. Like if you're looking for our tweet to update, now here's our tweet. Like go update.
What's the criteria for CISA putting out one of these reports? I want to know that. Like,
oh, it's got to be like in the wild. They've talked to 3 companies in the last week that got popped.
Is that it?
That's my guess. Like that's my guess. Like I seriously bet it's like because there's the world of security and there's a world of like things are on fire over here in like incident response. I feel like this has got to be based on incident response like activities. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because this is how we feel as a company. When things happen, when we see things come on the incident response team, we go out and we say, hey, everyone else, this can happen. So I feel like that's what CISA does. But I don't know. I'm not a government
they're just pushing out these just to try to get so someone can reference them in their intel report and hopefully get their VPs to patch.
I mean, it's like our whole. It's like your whole thing of like exploited in the wild by attackers. Like Black Hills is now a threat actor, so we just go and exploit anything, and then everyone says it's been exploited in the wild by attackers. So then they have to fix everything. It's like this weird like logic bomb we hit them with. Like everything's been exploited in the wild by attackers because we're an attacker. So there you go.
Kind of like the journalist that read the website source code.
Yeah,
everyone's an attacker. So everyone's an attacker.
Apparently, Duo's out.
I didn't feel this
at all.
Anyone
encountered this?
I haven't encountered, and I've.
I mean, wouldn't you have to use Duo to know that it wasn't working?
Well, yeah. Wade, you just leaked some like secrets over here.
I use Duo personally on my home lab. It's all duoed up.
So he would have known. He would have known.
So I guess it's hit or miss. Basically, they're saying they're investigating authentication errors. We don't know if it's security related. I don't even know if it's.
Ian made it.
He did. He had to.
He
talk
snuck
to
in.
He did. He was very sneaky.
Wait, Ian hacked into our podcast?
No,
well, that's what happens when we...
he had Duo and he could not get into his account.
So
Got it.
Nice.
You nailed
it. He had
it.
to update his Citrix server before he logged in.
So, Ian, can you send out some emails using Zimbra?
Zimbra.
I heard that was a good idea.
Yeah, I can do that.
Zimbra.
I actually,
it is the best email service, by the way.
You can tell it's the best once Ryan clicks the article and goes to the map because you can see what countries use it and you can see why it's the best.
Are you hating on those other countries, or are you just hating on the ransomware district of Eastern Europe?
I was about to say.
I'm just saying, if this is if you are in this picture and you're using Zimbra, then like report it, because you don't want to be in this picture.
I love this. I was gonna say, is it the official email provider of the ransomware region of the Eastern Europe? Is that? No?
It doesn't say. Also, Italy's in there, and somehow Mexico. I don't know. Anyway,
it's probably like one IP that like geolocates to that, and that IP's actually geolocation is wrong, and they just put it there.
That's where is.
So the actual like article, not to just only banter and not put any real news in your ears. Basically, the article is that attackers are phishing, looking for Zimbra credentials. So maybe there's.
Well, why do they want Zimbra? What's so cool about it?
That's what we don't know. So maybe they have a 0 day that they're like gonna use once they have a certain like. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like
a transformer thing. They have to get enough like resources combined to make it.
It's like a takeover, like a 51% attack. I don't know. I'm scared now because that sounds terrifying.
Oh my god!
I really hope it's not that. And there's we'll see.
That sounds amazing.
Basically,
the countries that it seems to be in. I wonder if this is potentially nation state oriented, that they're trying to just get inside of email boxes. Yeah.
I mean, it's business email compromise, right? We know it's actually a good way to steal some monies, but like it's interesting that they're targeting Zimbra. It might be like just as simple as someone wrote a tool that makes it easy, or it could, and then like shared it within the Eastern Europe hacking community. Or maybe it's something else that I'm afraid of. So I guess
or if it's being used by all these Eastern nation and ransomware countries, maybe it's somebody that's not in one of those countries, 3-letter agencies, that's doing the phishing, trying to go ahead and get them, so that way they could get into their stuff since they're no longer on Telegram, or they're no longer on the dark web, or no longer on Twitter.
Their Twitter API got canceled, so this is how they're getting to it.
Okay,
now.
If this is
we all lost our Twitter API.
Okay, seriously though, looking at the campaign, if this is nation state, like we need to refund the NSA or something, because all they're doing is they're phishing. They're phishing, pretending like they're an admin, saying your email server is going to be updated, and then they attach an HTML file, which is basically a locally hosted phishing site that posts your credentials to like the attacker page. So it's not exactly nation state level, but maybe, you never know.
Keep it simple. That's all. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
You never know.
there is a open source version of Zimbra.
All right, send me the ISO. I'll
throw
it up in my Duo lab right now.
At this point, I'm kind of making fun of it, but also I'm like, I kind of want to try it and see if it works. So
also, if you read the wiki about this company, they've been sold so many times they don't know who they are.
So okay, we're gonna buy WinRAR, and we're gonna apparently buy also Zimbra.
How do we?
We could add them together so zips automatically open your email.
Zimware.
Zimware.
Zimrar.
Zimware. Yeah, our newest product from Zimware is attaching HTML phishing. I think we're just gonna try it.
Yeah.
We'll try it. We'll fish all of our customers and let you know how it goes. We'll try HTML attachment phishing because that isn't played out.
It's not.
It is.
You gotta make it pretty.
It could work.
It still works.
Honestly, it's one of those things. It could work.
You don't know till you try. That's really.
I miss HTAs. We were reminiscing about this the other day. Remember HTAs? They were so fun. Like you fish in with an HTA. You could fish someone with an HTA, full screen it, disable the keyboard input. They just have to like click the fish, basically.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Those are the days.
They're just stuck there, just like they're just trying everything, and they're just like, I can't. I have to do it. If
they knew like the magic Control Alt Delete, Control Alt F4, whatever, they could get around it. But like, what percentage of your population knows that? Like,
well, what kind of sorcery are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that or that feature's been disabled for administrative purposes.
Of course, yes.
Like that or that.
It hasn't.
They're like, you can't use Control Alt Delete. That's admin. That's admin only.
What? Task manager? You can't end that.
Can we talk about backups real fast? Because I have to talk about hard drives. No, Corey knows how much I love.
Yes, let's talk about hard drives.
I'll make this one fast. So I guess
spinning Rust.
There is no. This is even this doesn't even spin. This just like hums. So SanDisk makes these little SSD drives, and I guess they've been like constantly losing data, and now there's a class action lawsuit about it, and they've been like all like quiet about it. Not sure why. Kind of interesting. So back up your data. See if you have one of these.
It's SanDisk Extreme SSDs might lose all your data.
Maybe.
Well, the thing that I'd read about that, which I find terrifying, is notice it's the SanDisk Extreme SSD. Blah blah blah.
Oh, it's designed to take bullets, literally.
Yes. So that's where they're really getting beat up. Is that it was you paid extra for this you paid extra for this drive that is supposed to be wildly durable and be the best for protecting your data, and there's something about it that makes it even worse than their let's put a potato on a spinning disk and see what happens.
I think their last fiasco was the SMR and CMR disks. They were rebranding them as like what do you call it, SMR. They took SMR drives and they were branding them as CMR drives. It was a whole big debacle. So
my favorite hard drive related insanity actually worked for Dell technical support by a contractor called Convergys back in 2000, 1999, 2000.
You worked at Dell? Did you were you in a commercial?
I'm pretty sure
I worked there when those commercials were on, and yes, that does give me PTSD.
Are you in the commercials?
Absolutely. I'm John Hodgman. No, that's the Apple ones. It was the desert drives. Do y'all remember the Western Digital desert drives?
No. Did they look like sand?
No.
This is a true story. Only because I know it from working.
Look it up.
Having to replace them. There was a trailer full of Western Digital hard drives that was stolen and then abandoned in the desert. And they recovered it like months and months and months later. And they did a quick test on the drives and were like, these are fine, fantastic. And they shipped them out.
Oh, God.
Well,
and then they
all
weren't
those
fine?
drives started failing very rapidly.
Oh,
Yes, they
I'll
tested
bet.
fine, but over time, being in a truck in the desert, they were dying. So there was a whole thing in our wiki that was, hey, if you've got a desert drive and they were these serial numbers to these serial numbers, just don't even have them troubleshoot, just replace.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
You're not
where I'm at
Pasco.
is it's the and if anyone doesn't know, if you're interested in hard drive reliability and statistics, the Backblaze drive stats report is really interesting. They do really big deep dives on because obviously Backblaze is a storage company. They have 50,000 drives in service, and they very carefully keep track of, and they publish the data openly, and it's very interesting to see if they had a swath of desert drives, they would be so screwed. So it's just kind of an interesting if you're interested in this topic. But yeah, with SSDs, it's a tough one because I think a lot of people just have this assumption that they're more reliable, just out of the gate. People are like, SSD, it's fine, it'll never because we all had hard drives for a long time, and they were kind of a disaster from a reliability standpoint. And now I feel like everyone's like, SSDs, they don't fail, but turns out they do.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah, it sounds like they have some manufacturing issues on those ones. So
one time I was shooting a hard drive and the silicone in it blew up and hit me in the face and blinded me.
Wait. There's silicone in
There's
a hard
sand,
drive?
dude. There's sand or something in that really old hard drive, and we were playing around with it, hitting it. I lived up in the middle of the mountains somewhere.
How close were you shooring this thing?
I don't recall. All right,
Okay.
but
His attorney told him not to say anything.
All right. All right. Give us the speech that you've been told to tell us.
So okay, wait.
I can't
before we incriminate Wade, I do want to say I hope this class action lawsuit forces them to give at least make it so you can check if you have one or something.
Do I have a desert drive? That's the question.
This article basically says you might be screwed. Peace. I mean how.
By the time the class action suit is done, you'll know because you'll be wiped.
Yeah.
It's a security feature, okay? Did you forget to wipe your backup data? Well,
this is my favorite line, especially when ransomware happens. Well, you don't have a backup? What? I mean, you're so stupid, right? but yeah, having a
The
backup.
last class in what am I even saying? The
Clash and
last
Astute.
the last ass suit they had, which I don't know why I just said that, but I just
And
nailed it.
recording, we need that.
I want everyone to know that I did that on purpose and I regret it, but it's okay. Listen, the last ass suit that they had, they paid out 5.9 mil, which sounds like not much at all. So if you know what, if that's all it takes, if that's the cost of just having drives fail at like a whatever percentage rate, then companies are just going to be like, oh yeah, 5.9. That's like that was the marketing budget for the Western Digital, ass drives.
And it didn't
so yeah,
sell.
I don't know.
That barely makes the top tier of ransomware demand negotiations.
Right? Yeah, 5.9 mil. That's like half of ransomware. So yeah.
Well, anyways, so get backups and don't trust a single drive.
Get backups.
Yes.
But my data's already gone. What do I do now?
What you supposed to do that before? The 3-2-1. Look it up. 3-2-1 backup. That's the plan.
3, 2, 1 is a countdown to you losing your data.
Yeah.
321 contact is the answer. Reason.
Oh my
why
god.
everything happens.
So okay, let's go. Since we're already off the beaten path, let's just take a massive left turn.
Ooh, my favorite.
Oh no.
NYC, New York City. I think that's what NYC means.
Oh,
has banned TikTok on city devices, and I think the reason they did this is because they ran the numbers and they had a 30% productivity loss due to dancing and recording it at work.
That honestly should be the number one reason you ban TikTok.
I think that's why, because yesterday you just see it, like it's one of the things that like it's almost like the human mind is just ready to identify it like it's prey, because you see people just doing this TikTok dance and it's like prey. Like it's just they're moving, they're completely unaware. So, I feel like that's why they banned it. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could get into, privacy, data mining, harvesting, all that stuff. But really, I think it's just lost productivity due to either scrolling TikTok or recording the dance videos. 50-50 shot.
I think you're 100% right. Like somebody looked at either through their MDM what apps are being most.
Our bandwidth usage is incredible.
Yeah. What is going on here? And truthfully, like if you're a city worker, and I'm not taking anything away from that, there's lots of really important work being done by local public officials. But how much of your job is it actually necessary for you to have TikTok? There's very few people.
Important to do those.
Well, hold on. The parking meter people, when you're giving out a parking ticket and you're not, aren't you supposed to record it and do like,
do the dance and be like,
you're like, oh, you get a parking ticket, bam, $15. Yeah, no, there's a whole song for it.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's on TikTok. You would know if it wasn't banned on your device.
Also, yeah, that could also be how they get in contact with the people with the tickets. So, like, what's your TikTok? I'll just send you the ticket on there.
I love it how they blame this whole China stuff, but we all know the truth. They're just unproductive when you have TikTok.
No, you're right. It's a convenient excuse
TikTok,
for leaders to be like,
get back to work.
So, okay, so if they're banning this, what else are they banning? Solitaire? Because if they ban Solitaire, I'm quitting.
It's over. It's over.
So I know a company that banned Reddit. Right during like the whole Reddit era thing, like when the uproar, and I was very upset because a lot of good articles are on Reddit, and I like to read Reddit, and now I have to like figure out how to circumvent security in order to just read about like a normal security.
Are you telling us that you're a hacker?
Whoa, hold on.
Right.
You're circumventing
at least
security.
Like, so I feel like Reddit is a pretty key source of good information, right? At least
there's information out there.
There's good information, but like at least TikTok.
Are you talking about cat pictures?
Well, yeah, that's
the
just
whole
feel
cat
good stuff.
thing. German Shepherd, love them.
But like TikTok, what's the use of TikTok really, right? Like, is it really? Can it help you solve like something? Not usually.
Well, they tried to do security TikTok, but then China didn't like that. So.
Well, yeah. So to bring that in on TikTok, like they're pretty aggressive about like no hacking on TikTok, right?
Yeah, only dancing. You either dance or you die.
Or steal cars. That's allowed too.
Oh yeah, totally right.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
Kia boy.
Or like mild vandalism. Like that's allowed too. Most crimes are allowed. It's not hacking.
Just like at the end, you have to go like, haha, it was just a joke.
So okay, Wade brought into the conversation the idea of bypassing security controls. How many government employees are going to be sideloading now, or like rooting their devices just so they can tell? Like, is this going to be one of those things that comes back to bite them? Like, because I feel like when you're talking about when companies ask me, like we've had a lot of times where companies are like, "Hey, DLP, what do you think?" And I'm like, I mean,
Not useful.
It could be useful for certain things like forcing full disk encryption or something like that. But if you're trying to prevent people from doing something, the bypasses they'll take to do their job will oftentimes be less secure than just like you just monitoring what like the corrective channel.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's like it brings in the whole thing. Like if a city employee is going to like take their phone home, root it, put TikTok on it, now it's really actually a security risk.
Right.
Whereas before it was just like not really, maybe a minor security risk, but not as big as having like an employee that's like rooted their device.
James in chat said that the military should ban Discord.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Like you should ban Discord on those skiffs. Yeah, we know that skiffs allow Discord.
Yeah, I don't know why your TSSCI and your Nipper need to be so close together so you can Discord. I don't get it. Right?
Well, how are you going to have a community of accessing top secret information? I mean,
it's a tough community to build, and it's a real fast one to burn.
Yeah. Before we go too far past that, I do want to like put on the old businessman hat for a second because I think we oh god, here it comes.
Wait, where is it? I want to see this physical hat.
He's look how many hats he has, and all of them are legal.
Oh, it's right there. Oh, I see it.
Yeah, it's right there. So anyway, two things. The first one is going to be a little bit controversial. I actually agree with the state of New York here, or the city of New York, whoever was doing it. And the reason is this with one caveat, because I didn't get a chance to go all the way through the article. If that is a city-issued phone, they should ban all the apps, TikTok, Instagram, whatnot, only with exception if you're in communications, if you're in some sort of emergency response, things like that, where having access to
child mode.
Yeah.
Right. No, for sure.
For you to do your job. Now, the caveat is BYOD, or there's a couple new Gartner terms around like when it's managed versus owned versus this versus that. But if it is a device that fundamentally you pay for, and you want to be able to get your email or something like that, and you go through and say, well, yeah, I'll do X to do Y, they're going to have real challenges with that. Now, it sounds like with this, these are city-issued phones, and it would be a very cut and dry case. Like, no, sorry, done. So I'm actually with the city of New York on that, not because of the spying, but because that's just the way it is. That device was issued for you to do work, and your work doesn't involve TikTok, so okay.
As a security blue teamer, the getting access to my company via my personal cell phone is like, I will admit it is very nice, but it's the most scary thing for me to opt into, to say you guys now have like X ability on my personal stuff. And every single time I question, do I really need this? And sometimes they'll send you a phone, but I've had companies who won't. They're just like, just log into Slack, and if we need you, you're going to be there. And I'm like, but.
Right. But that is the other side of that coin, right? That companies, and I dealt with this a lot at large companies that I worked at, where we'd sit down and you'd get the lawyers go, well, they just shouldn't have that. I'm like, then you need to pay for their phone. They're like, that's $1 million expense if we do all these phones. I'm like, then you need to find a middle ground, because you want the benefit of not paying for the devices, but then you also want to control how people use the devices they paid for, and that's just not going to happen. So, I mean, there's a lot more nuance with this article that I think a lot of companies don't think about before just kind of saying, we are wiping this for anything, I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
I mean, we have to be clear that like we don't know the details here. We don't know whether honestly it could just be the news article is kind of siphoning small information and making it seem bigger than it is. Like they could have a list of banned apps that just was updated to include TikTok and also includes every other social media and every other, like Ian said, all the stuff they don't need to do their job. But they clearly felt the need to be public about it and say that, the NYC Cyber Command, which I just imagine, like, what are they doing? Like, what is that?
It's Rudy Giuliani. Remember, he's a cybersecurity expert.
At the Four Seasons Landscaping?
No, you do remember that, right? Like, he launched a cybersecurity company a while back, and it was the most. Oh no, this is 100% true.
So that explains
Rudy
it.
Giuliani cyberscyber, and
because if you do hire,
amazing.
So who is the commander of Cyber Command, and why did they their thing is like, well, we want to make an impact, so ban TikTok. All right.
Rudy Giuliani cybersecurity paid for WinRAR though, so I have to give it to him.
WinRAR.
Yeah.
Are they in the
And in 2017, Giuliani was named as the cybersecurity advisor to Trump. This is a thing that happened.
Cybersecurity, dude. He literally set up a meeting at a landscaping company.
Listen, that was the listen, Ralph. For the day, that was the Cyber Command headquarters.
No one suspected it. They're doing nothing wrong here.
The OPSEC was so good. No one saw that coming. Yeah. The other thing I want to go back to on this too.
This tangent is very long and very confusing.
Well, you know, it is what it is. But
where are we? All right.
Let's talking about the bypass. Talking about the bypass. You were saying, I do want to remind folks that are listening here, when you make controls that actively make people find a bypass, you are doing your company a disservice. So you got to find ways to set up those controls that balance things. You're going to get Corey or some teenage kid walking up to their dad going, "Oh, Dad, all you got to do is this, and here you go."
I actually have. So, Ian, I've now that we've talked about starting cybersecurity companies. We've already we said we're going to acquire WinRAR. We've made a lot of progress on today's podcast. And you know what I was just thinking. You know what we need? We need to make a TikTok appliance that you put in your network, okay? And it's okay. I gotta keep a straight face. So, okay, there are two options for the TikTok appliance. one, self-hosted internal TikTok.
Ooh,
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Option number 2 is TikTok. If you want to use cloud-hosted TikTok, which I mean, hybrid deployments are so hot right now. You can just monitor all the TikToks. So our appliance, it goes in your network, and man in the middle's TikTok, and then makes sure. Talk. Yeah, it's like prox talk, and it makes sure that all your TikToks are either dance related or work related, and then you can filter your TikTok events and monitor them. So it's perfect.
So my question, Corey, is we installed this appliance last week, and there was a bunch of other scanning traffic coming from it that we didn't understand. Is that normal?
Yeah, that's a feature. It's called the AI deep learning function, which it basically just seeks out your employees' interests and then will use it to determine what's work related and what's not.
Okay, but all the passwords that the authentication's coming from it, we shouldn't worry about that.
No, it actually needs everyone's individual password to tune their algorithm.
Perfect.
Yes, it logs into the account. It's an API thing. It's not that big.
Yeah, anyway. Just make sure the appliance is it blinking. As long as it's blinking.
On.
Yeah, as long
and
as
don't worry,
it's blinking.
The code says it's safe to use.
Yeah.
Right.
No, the contract came in and management pulled out their stamp and they said, management
accepts the risk. We will install the TikTok appliance in our environment. Thank you.
Good.
Well, one of the things
Does
that
anyone
Wade
have any
brought up-
last articles? Sorry.
Wait, before we move off of this, Wade really did bring up a good point, and it had to do with the fact that as soon as you let a company get a foothold on your personal device, as an individual, that's a serious consideration too, because they've got a foothold and they may say that they're only going to be worried about their apps, but really you let them in a little bit at all, and now they have legal grounds to dictate what you can or cannot put on your personal device, over and above the consideration of who's paying for what. There's also a matter of who owns this device that nominally is yours, but now your employer has a foothold.
That is the one. What you just described is the one. I am down to one phone. For a decade or more, I carried two. The one thing that, and then also what happens if there is a discovery request and I'm part of some investigation for, some breach or something like that, something Black Hills would work on. They say, we would like the phone data from all the employees that did this. Well, now it's my personal phone getting imaged with all the personal stuff I do.
Don't worry, Alex Jones, it worked out really well.
Oh, yeah. It worked out great for Sony, too, when all their emails came out. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think... I guess it really is the smart security advice here is that if you're dealing with the BYOD, whatever type of environment, which I highly doubt that New York City is like BYOD for a parking meter or whatever. I mean, maybe, but I'm guessing whatever cyber like the NYC Cyber Command is a top organization run by possibly some top individuals. So I'm pretty sure they're not letting BYOD happen. But you're right. If it's BYOD, they're the rootkit. TikTok's part of the rootkit too, but they're in there as well. So it's kind of sketchy.
Can we talk about the last social media company we haven't talked about today?
No.
We've talked about them all.
I have a better pick. I have an audience submitted article for our last pick that like it's a direct corollary.
All right,
So
fine.
it's the IMAX link that someone sent in chat.
Oh,
It's
is it a
It's
fish?
too good. So okay, and I'll post the article, but basically, okay, yeah. So
Amazing.
the reason it's funny is because this news article is based on a TikTok posted by IMAX.
Oh,
Wow.
That's saying the
Research
70
in
millimeter
motion.
film print of Oppenheimer is so big we had to extend our film platter. But they're leaking the data on TikTok because it's showing an image of the PalmPilot operating system, which is like, showing how it's going to be playing the IMAX video. So
Security through obscurity, right?
it's just
how many
I had
times
to
have
throw
you
it
packed
in.
the Palm Pilot?
I had to throw it in
Wait,
because,
so
like,
they're
I guess the moral of the
emulating
story.
one?
They're leaking their own data on TikTok is where I'm going with it.
Even more beautiful than that. Look at those photos. It's that they are emulating the PalmPilot on an iPad to control.
Yes, because then they would have to tell people how to use the new OS.
Listen, Cyber Command said it was fine, okay?
Yes. It's isolated inside of its own
Wow.
work
Inside of an
machine.
iPad.
All right,
Doesn't this go back to like there's not that many people who actually know how to use like IMAX rated?
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, it makes sense. It's combining two dead technology.
we don't want to update it. So like the old people got to figure out how to use it. So we keep the Palm Pilot. We don't have
It's
to
combining two, like, one is arguably beautiful and awesome, and the other one's a PalmPilot. So, but it is combining, two old, outdated technologies. Anyway, Ralph, what was your article? I just had it was.
Oh, no, it's all good. Mine was just about LinkedIn. So I guess they're having a huge influx of people, the last social network to use, which hopefully is not banned on your work device. So you can find a new job. But major LinkedIn's had a bunch of account takeovers. So it's like a big campaign of people getting their account compromised on LinkedIn, then getting locked out of their account when they're doing password guessing. So yeah, I guess watch out. They're coming for your recruiters.
So, okay, this
Sounds
is,
like
yeah,
it's a good reminder to make sure that your passwords are long, as in excess of 15 characters. Longer is better. And also to make sure that every single password you use is unique.
and
that
also don't
individual
run
account.
the cracked version of ExpressVPN on your
Yes.
computer because it'll
Yes.
steal a log.
finally,
Also, don't forget to turn on MFA.
just delete
Yeah,
all
so-
of your text messages, and then no one will know.
To take one last little point on this article is that they're apparently ransoming their LinkedIn accounts back to people. I gotta say, I'm not paying a dime for my LinkedIn account.
I'm like,
you
you
can have
those
it.
connections.
You can you go network and get me a job, and then maybe I'll buy it back from you for like $5.
Yeah, you
But I'm
show
not-
you run this account
It's like-
better than me, and then maybe I'll buy it back. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't care that
who's
I've got
gonna
more
pay?
than 500 connections. You know what? I don't know a third of those people.
I would be more likely to buy back my sock puppet account than I would my actual real account.
No, that is legit. I would definitely
Yeah.
agree with you.
How long it took me to build that account? I can start.
Listen, I'm a recruiter at Microsoft. I have great prospects. Anyway, let's end the show. Thanks everyone for coming. This episode's sponsored by John Strand.
Well, no, and don't forget this week if you haven't signed up yet, Blue Team
Blue
Summit.
Team
Yes, Blue Team
Blue
Summit.
Team Summit.
Blue hair,
Hang
blue
out with
team.
us.
There's
come
training.
on.
There's talks. There's probably training and talks at the same
There are.
time.
There
I'll
are.
be
2
there.
years.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
at
there-
some point.
There are talks on Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday is free talks on Wednesday, and then low cost training on Thursday and Friday, of which there's still some open. So check it out.
So Wade, are you going to give your talk about how not to destroy hard drives?
I should, huh? That'd be a good one. My risk acceptance at that age was very high. Let's just say that.
How not to get fragments of information in your eyes.
Oof, yes.
That's not how you read data. All right.
That's how you can see the zeros and ones. All right.
I can see this.
It's not worth crying over shot platters.
Yeah.
Is Ryan even here? Do we just have to
Yeah,
keep
Ryan,
the show
the
going?
fire, just all over.
Hello?
It's getting
Fire.
worse. It's getting
Ryan,
worse.
The keyword.
Stand